When this series started last week, we told you briefly of how the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board (NCDMB), also known as Local Content Board, came into being, its mandate and achievements so far. We then focused on one of the board's key projects in Bayelsa State, the Nigerian Oil and Gas Park (NOGAP) project, located in Emel 1 in Ogbeya local government area of the state. This week, we will still talk about the project, especially the construction process that has brought it to where it is today. As we told you, the project, when completed, is expected to generate up to 2,000 jobs at full operation and create a regional low-cost manufacturing hub for the production of spare parts, equipment, and components to be used in the nation's oil and gas industry. The Executive Secretary of the NCDMB, Engineer Simbi Kesie Wabote, considers this project to be of strategic importance to the people and economy of not only Bayelsa, but even neighboring states. He is therefore always keen on monitoring the process of work to ensure it is delivered on time, in line with the tradition of the board.
I'm highly impressed with the quality of work so far. As you can see, the idea behind this is to get as many contractors as possible onto the site, such that a standard is set and they are all working towards that standard. I am really impressed. Most importantly is that this is being undertaken purely by indigenous local contractors, and the quality is being superb. It's a quality you can measure anywhere in this country or outside this country. On percentage completion, we have a long way to go because currently most of the buildings are getting to the finishing stages. Some are just starting. We believe that we will complete this project by fourth quarter 2022. So we have some time, and all the contractors are aware of the timeline and working towards it. I was here in 2018 when we did the groundbreaking ceremony. And for those who were here, you saw that we were inside water practically. But today we are out of it and we are seeing structures coming up. The benefit of the PAC scheme to the industry, economy, and the nation. First, like you know, one challenge that we have in the oil and gas industry is local manufacturing. Most of the finished products we import. So the idea behind the oil and gas scheme is to incubate those manufacturing in country. So to a large extent, it will save the much needed foreign exchange for the nation. Most importantly, it will create jobs for our people and will get people engaged and will enhance our capacity and in fact bring about technological innovations, because most of those manufacturing will be done here. Primarily, one of the challenges in manufacturing in country has to do with power. We've been able to conquer that on this site. We have already built a 10 megawatts gas-fired power plant. So the site is guaranteed power for the community. To create a lot of jobs, and it will be a spin-off effect to other economic activities. So the benefit is enormous. I can't recount all of them at this point.
Transforming from a mere marshy terrain in 2018 to a site bustling with construction activities within months of the groundbreaking ceremony, the NOGAP project is a beacon of hope, not just to the host communities, but to the entire Niger Delta region and the country at large. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll hear from the Minister for State Petroleum Resources, Chief Timipri Marlin Silva. Please stay tuned. The Minister for State Petroleum Resources, Chief Timipri Marlin Silva, on an assessment visit to the oil and gas park earlier, used the occasion to reiterate federal government's resolve to inundate the Niger Delta with job opportunities as a means to tackle the issues arising from the region.
This place was a swamp, but a lot of work has gone in to bring it up to this standard. This administration, the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, has promised from the very beginning to bring jobs to our people, because we believe that it is jobs that will ultimately solve the problem of the Niger Delta. There are a lot of young people that have no work. So as a responsible government, one of the first things you must do is to try to see how those very able-bodied and qualified young people who are unemployed will be gainfully employed. And I want to tell you that Mr. President is very committed to this mandate. Already, what I'm seeing here, from what we are seeing here, a lot of the projects are over 70% complete. And so we are certain that within the life of this administration, this project here will be commissioned. What we are trying to do here is to create opportunities, to be able to create opportunities for manufacturing of some of the parts that are needed in the oil industry. There is no reason why we would be importing everything, including nuts and bolts, from outside Nigeria. So the Local Content Development Board has brought this opportunity to us here, to bring companies that will operate here to be able to produce those things to service this industry that is around us. In other countries, the service industry is even bigger sometimes than the oil industry itself, because they produce all the equipment that are required for the industry and actually also service the industry. So at some point, it becomes even bigger in terms of size than the oil industry itself. That is where we are going. The NCDMB has done very well. Before the establishment of the Nigerian Content Monitoring and Development Board, local content in Nigeria was about 3%, local participation in the industry. It was even less than 3% before at some point. But it was 3% at the time of the inception of NCDMB. NCDMB has taken local participation today to over 30%. And the plan, our roadmap is to take local participation to up to 70% by the year 2027. So you can be sure that in a very short time, when all these facilities have been commissioned, we'll be able to produce most of what the oil industry requires within Nigeria and create a lot of jobs. The hope is that this place, when completed, will create over 2,000 jobs. And you can imagine, if only this place can create 2,000 jobs, quality jobs around here, you can see that so many of our young people would have been employed. I will not conclude without thanking the community for all the support that they've given to the companies that are working here. Because it is important that communities must allow companies to work in their areas. If these communities were not peaceful, I am sure that these contractors would not have progressed this quickly. So I thank you very much. Ogbea has always been known as a peaceful local government. Please keep it up, because it is peace that will bring development to you. Apart from this project, a lot of other projects are coming. The much talked about Oloibiri Museum is also going to commence very soon in Ogbea. So a lot will happen in Ogbia. A lot of opportunities will be created in Ogbia. A lot of jobs will be created in Ogbia.
Even before its completion, the oil and gas park project has already created different types of job opportunities for Bayelsans. This is because the construction for the project makes provision for the hiring of a minimum of 80% of all unskilled labor from the host and immediate communities. In addition, a minimum of 50% of the semi-skilled and 20% of the skilled labor requirements for the execution of the project are also currently sourced from the state. Project manager, Megastar Construction Company, engineer Efe Akpokutaye, talks about the project's spin-off effect, highlighting employment generation as one of many.
The plan is this place should be functional next year. That is the main basis for this, so that production, manufacturing can commence with the ES giving his full support and the Minister too of Petroleum. This will be achievable. There are different stakeholders. Community is one major stakeholder in this. So we have engaged at least 70% of the workforce to be employed in this in all the facilities. After this place becomes functional, I think the NCDMB or NOGAPS have taken it as a challenge to re-engage this youth so that they will be the major operators of these facilities when it becomes functional. But as for Megastar as a construction company, we have engaged the youths. We have 70 to 80% of all of them, so both skilled and unskilled laborers to execute the jobs. So if you look behind, you see all the majorly is from the community. We have very few of our staff, just 5-6% that are represented here in site management levels. The others in the field mostly is from the community.
Aside from the employment quota, which the host communities robustly benefit from, subcontracts such as supply of sand, granite, water, fuel and other construction materials also go to capable local contractors, while local traders like Joy Ademe are also making brisk business.
This local content is the land from Meawan community, the place. And I came here to come and sell my food through the company that came in Meawan community. I benefit because I come here, I benefit, I'm selling, I'm using the money to do other things. The place is, I'm benefiting the place. Our boys, there is no work, but this is that project that came in this community, our boys get work. They are inside sites and working every day and night, they are working there.
With the completion date as their motivation, contractors on the project site have maintained a healthy pace with ongoing work, assuring that the project will be completed and handed over to the board by the fourth quarter of 2022. The project manager of the site, engineer Kelly Olaye of the NCDMB, speaks further on the ongoing construction process and the various structures that make up the NOGAP.
At the land acquisition stage, if you are here, you will really appreciate what has been done so far, because during that era, there was the whole of this area. You can see it's a lot of forests all over. But where we started, we first of all started with the clearing. We started with the EIA, the clearing, the sand filling. Then, presently, what we are doing now, we are doing the main construction work. Presently, the works that are going on now, we have 7 projects running right now. One of them is the gatehouse, which is just there. We have the admin building, the one on my left hand here that you are seeing there. We have the hostel building. We have the capacity building training center. We also have the mini park estate right behind me here. What you're seeing here is the manufacturing shop floor. The other building you're seeing by the side of it, the other structure you're seeing there, that is the warehouse for the manufacturing shop floor. So if you look at my right this way, you will see other activities going on there, which is the fire station that is ongoing too. So far so good. We've really done well in terms of where we are right now and where we are coming from. Some of the building, we are at the finished stage right now. You can see the road work too, also at the finished stage too. So we started installing the WCs. We also started installing the doors, the windows. Painting work is ongoing. The tile work, the marble work, they are ongoing. So we are at the finished stage. So putting all this together, you can see the progress that we have made so far.
The project, upon completion, will also serve as a capacity development center and on-the-job training hub for youths in the state, giving them opportunities to flourish in their career paths and businesses and a conducive working environment. The General Manager, Corporate Communications and Zonal Coordination, Engineer Dr. Gina Otonyo Gina, also speaks on the importance of the project to the economy of Bayelsa State.
We also have our industrial park in Bayelsa State here. So that industrial park, the purpose of which is to get companies to come and produce, manufacture items that will be needed in the oil and gas industry. So that park, when it starts, is going to provide employment for Bayelsa people. So construction is going on, which means some Bayelsa people are already engaged on this construction phase. So that is another huge benefit for Bayelsa State. So it's an infrastructural development of the state. Of course, you know what it means. It means employment, it means development, it means capacity development, even on the human front, because people that are going to work, they are going to be trained, and these skills are used across multiple industries. So that is also a huge one for us. So there's impact, employment, and other socioeconomic benefits.
Indigenes of the host communities are excited at the prospect of the NOGAB project in the area and have expressed their support for the board and promised to ensure the project is completed within the stipulated time. Chief Ojoko Taram, CLO ML1, says he is grateful to the board for citing such a monumental project in his community, adding that it has increased the land value and opened up the area to visitors and investors alike.
I think there are a lot of prospects and there are a lot of opportunity. And economic activities will get high or will be boosted in the community. And most of our youth and elderly, most of them will get job opportunity there. Some will be going for training and retraining. And when they are engaged with these companies that will set in site. I think in that area, I think to me, those are the prospects I think the community will stand to benefit. And while days are going, I believe that the community, there are other kind of projects that will set in the community through that gas park. The oil and gas park is a welcome one. Nobody that will hear about oil and gas park that will not tell you that it's something that will bring development to the area, to the community, and to our host communities around us. I think the oil and gas park is a very welcome one. It's what the community love. It's like, to me, I would say, it's a firstborn of the community today. It's a firstborn of the community today, just like when a woman gives to birth on the first child of us, the woman celebrates. I would say this is one of the major projects that has set its foot in Ogbia community. And luckily to the Mayawan people, it's been sited here. Luckily, the Mayawan people is being sited here, and we embrace this project with all seriousness and with all love. That's why you see us anytime, you will not hear anything like maybe people going to site to protest or people going to site to lock down site, to shut down site for 1 week, for 2 weeks. They're agitating things that are not too necessary. We want the work to be completed and the site activated. That is the kind of love we have for the project. We don't want any hindrances. We don't want anything that will stop the project. We don't want any obstruction that will stop the project. That is the kind of love we are showing to the project.
Well, when the company came, when the building started, when the project started, I think some of our youths in the neighboring village have been employed by the company as casual workers, skilled workers. That alone has boosted up the economic system of the community, the host communities, which it has been affected. So it has really, some of our youth who are jobless, due to this means they have already gainful employment. Although it's temporary, but at least they have something to do.
The Nigerian Oil and Gas Park, NOGAP, which is the NCDMB's flagship program in line with the federal government's mandate to develop indigenous capacities for the oil and gas industry, is not just a beauty to behold. It is the manifestation of an excellent plan to open up local manufacturing in the country as one sure way of driving economic development. The strategic intent of the board regarding NOGAPs is for the facility to lead the emergence of a vibrant oil and gas hub in the country, an environment where most businesses would want to set up facilities and take advantage of the incentives that are obtainable there. It has been a pleasure having you on this episode once again. Please keep a date with us next week, same time, same station, as we bring you more of the good works of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board. Bye for now.